Force, a Jedi. All of it. It's all true.
Hello there, and welcome to Star Wars Fiction, where we discuss everything Star Wars as well as bring you Fan Fiction Fridays. Today is part 2 of What If Darth Vader survived Return of the Jedi. So if you haven't seen part 1 yet, make sure to click the video card above you or the link in the description below so that part 2 will make sense. So now, without further ado, let's make the jump back into this fanfiction story. Our story continues where we find the Corvus above the forest moon Vendor, hiding amongst the debris of the recently destroyed Death Star. Iden Versio, commander of the Inferno Squadron, is in the middle of interrogating the Imperial prisoner, Leia Organa, for more information. So far, she hasn't had any luck. "What is your next move, rebel scum?" Iden asks. "Don't make me use the droid, because I will if I have to." Leia just looks at the commander with sympathy on her face. "We're going to liberate the galaxy and tear down the Imperial reign of terror. You'll be out of a job soon. Or worse." Iden remains silent for a moment, with the frustration on her face almost burning a hole through her helmet. But before she can say anything else, Agent Delmico rushes in. "Commander, the Millennium Falcon has just appeared and is demanding us to return the prisoner." Iden then rushes to the communications hub, opening the frequency channel. She motions to the other agents to prepare to bring the weapon systems online. "This is Commander Versio of Inferno Squad. Turn back now, or we will be forced to destroy you, Captain Solo." Now on board the Falcon, we see Han sitting alone in the cockpit with Chewbacca at the gunner's turret. "I don't take orders from Imperials, so give back the princess or I'll make sure you never fly again." Iden then laughs before saying, "You're outgunned and you're outmaneuvered, smuggler, so I will make you a generous offer." "Yeah? What's that?" Han says, frowning, trying to angle the deflector shield to the front of the ship in time. "My orders are to kill any rebels on sight, like we should have done to you on that moon. Give yourself up, and I will guarantee that you and the princess remain alive," Iden says in a cold voice. There is then a long pause where Han calls Chewbacca to the cockpit. "Luke is gone. It's the only chance we have to save her, pal." Chewie then lets out a series of groans and grunts and slams his fists into the console. "You know you can track me with that device in my boot. Just give it some time so they aren't suspicious. And we have Lando to lead an attack with some of the fleet," Han says, handing the Wookiee his blaster. He then reopens the frequency. "I'll accept your offer, you Imperial scumbag," Han says as he prepares to board the Corvus. As the transfer is complete, Han watches the Falcon speed off as he is handcuffed and walked to the holding room by Agent Hask. As he is brought in, he sees Leia sitting on the floor. As soon as the door closes, he rushes over to her and embraces her. "We'll find a way out of this, princess. I promise." "I know," is all Leia can say, closing her eyes trying to focus on Luke. We then travel across the galaxy, back to the remote asteroid medical facility of Polis Massa. Inside one of the operating rooms, we find Anakin Skywalker laying on a recovery table inside the black suit of Darth Vader. Luke enters the room and stands across from his father. He is then followed by the lead medical officer. Before either of them can say anything, the officer speaks. Lord Vader's suit was short-circuited by some kind of electrical current. His life support systems were critically damaged, and his oxygen intake has been severely reduced. We were surprised that he made it here, given the circumstances. "I need to know what alternatives there are to this suit. I grow tired of wearing it, Captain," Anakin then says. "Of course, Lord Vader. Our facility on Kamino can clone certain body parts of yours, including the limbs and lungs. You would not have to rely on your suit any longer," the medical officer then states. "How long will this take? We have some serious matters to attend to," Luke asks. The officer forces himself to talk to the Jedi, not knowing how or why Vader would have one as a son. "We've already taken the necessary genetic samples. It will be a few weeks by the time they arrive on Kamino and can be grown." "Very good, Commander. You may proceed at once. That will be all," Anakin says, then slowly rising to his feet. "I do not know what to say, my son. Thank you for saving me." Luke smiles. "You're welcome, Father. I would do anything for you. Besides, I need someone to teach me the ways of the Force and to help rebuild the Jedi Order." "Yes, we have much work to do, but I cannot help but sense that you are troubled by something. Luke frowns a bit. I haven't been able to reach Han, Leia, or anyone from the rebellion. A signal disruptor, used by the Empire, Anakin says. But I can barely sense her either. And I had a vision. It showed her and Han being tortured on some kind of Imperial ship by Special Forces stormtroopers. But Anakin interrupts Luke. You saw Inferno Squad. They are likely holding them as high-level prisoners in order to gain intelligence on the rebellion. We have to save them, Luke says as he and his father begin to rush to the Imperial shuttle on the landing pad. He is surprised to see Anakin take the controls as the ship quickly lifts off. He then activates the Imperial comm channel, reaching the Corvus. Commander Versio, this is Lord Vader. You are to report your location to me at once. Iden then responds, Negative, Lord Vader. Admiral Versio has received strict orders from the Emperor not to take orders from you anymore. The Emperor is dead. I am in charge of the Empire now, Anakin states in a demanding tone. I'm sorry, sir, but you have been labeled as a traitor to the Empire, Iden says, cutting off her frequency. I think the Emperor survived somehow, Father, Luke then says. No, Anakin states. I would sense his presence. We are dealing with a contingency order of his, one of which my old master never told me of. He then attempts to trace the signal of the Corvus. Luke groans, trying to remain calm. My vision also showed me an Imperial shipyard that I was not familiar with, and I saw satellites of some sort attacking the surface of Naboo. Anakin then pauses for a moment, closing his eyes to meditate. Luke joins him as they attempt to focus and channel the Force to sense Leia's presence. Moments later, Anakin opens his eyes. They will be at an Imperial shipyard called Fondor, he says as he punches in the coordinates to the nav computer. Prepare to jump. As the Imperial shuttle jumps into hyperspace, Luke looks at his father. Let's just hope we're in time to save them. We now find ourselves aboard the Imperial Star Destroyer known as the Eviscicator, along with Inferno Squad Commander Iden Versio and her father, Admiral Garrick Versio. I find it strange that Vader would contact me, instead of focusing on claiming what is left of the Imperial fleet, Iden states. The Admiral takes a moment to ponder on her report. Vader is a master strategist, and it makes no sense for him to come to you first. He must know that you have 2 high-ranking prisoners of the rebellion. They are leverage for us, and he probably thinks the same. I could tell he was not happy with being labeled a traitor to the Empire, Iden says. Not everything is as it seems, my daughter. The Emperor somehow knew Vader would betray him. There were reports of him fleeing the Death Star along with the Jedi known as Skywalker, who is aiding the rebellion. Iden paces for a moment. So they're probably now working together after assassinating the Emperor. It's the only thing that makes sense, my daughter. They will either attempt to take over or aid the rebellion. I cannot say which one is more likely at this point, but either way, we need to stop them, Garrick states. Vader will find us eventually, Iden then says, remembering her experiences from working with the Dark Lord. The Admiral then smiles. I intend for him to. Once I inform Admiral Sloane, she will send us more forces so that we can destroy him once and for all. He then pauses. But there is still your mission. I need you to assist Moth Wraith on Fondor in securing the satellites for Operation Cinder. Once you are done there, you will rendezvous with the fleet on Vardos. I will leave at once, Father, she says, bowing and starting to leave. Commander Versio, he then shouts. If you see Vader, you get the hell out of there. Iden then nods and heads for the Corvus. And cut. Okay guys, that's going to be it for part 2. I hope you've enjoyed this series so far, as I'm really trying to expand on the storyline we have, while adding in some new twists. Please give us a like, as it really helps out our channel. Let me know what you think in the comments, and how you think part 3 should be written. And who knows, maybe your idea will find its way into the script, and I'll also feature you in that video. Make sure to check out our other videos, including What If Han Did Not Shoot First, and Star Wars 2019, A New Hope for the content. If you didn't see the cards above, I'll put the links in the description to them below. Tomorrow, I will be releasing a video on the animated series Star Wars Resistance, so hit the subscribe button and the bell notification icon to be the first to know when it drops. Thank you again for watching Star Wars Fiction. May the Force be with you, and have a great weekend.
What you have